still basking in the afterglow of releasing our first chit chat video. And for those of you who don't know, that was our peek behind the curtain of life in quarantine. If you haven't, please take some time. It's about 12, 13 minutes, but check it out. Grab a coffee, a tea, or a cocktail, and just take a glimpse of what was going on during some of the quarantine period. Additionally, we want to share with you that O'Blaney Rinker Associates is still supporting City Harvest. City Harvest is New York City's largest food rescue organization, and we ask you to please take them under consideration if you're making any donations at this time. Now, about today's presentation. As most of you probably know, if you've been here before, we're going to mute all participants. We open up the chat bar in order for you to throw questions in there during Mark's presentation. We answer all of those at the end of the presentation. If you would like to adjust the screen arrangement, please use the speaker view option on your screen. And now, lastly, for fun, what we're going to do is, after Mark's presentation, that's what I was looking for, we are going to, for all you puzzle solvers, share some secrets about the Rubik's Cube. You may have seen it before, but this would be a great reminder. I think you're going to enjoy Dave's presentation, so please stick around for that. Now, without further ado, talking about our feature manufacturing partner, Radiant Lighting. With a history of high-end architectural lighting solutions installed in more than 30 different countries, pretty cool, they have long since been in North America camouflaged in the likes of Belfer Lighting and other manufacturing partners. And now, in conjunction with Illumination Management, we are excited to share the opportunity with you to work with you to bring your design to fruition. And now to tell you more about all this, I'm going to pass the baton over to Mark Carroll. Mark, thanks again for being here this afternoon. I'm going to mute myself and enjoy your presentation.
Great, thanks, James, and thanks for everybody for taking the time out to learn a little bit about Radiant Lighting. David Morgan and Associates is a design firm headquartered in London, and they have for, I think, almost 40 years been designing light fixtures. DMA luminaires have been installed in over 30 countries, and their luminaires are an integral part of the lighting design for some of the most important and beautiful spaces, structures, and buildings in the world. They've also been involved with lighting manufacturers and have designed products and product families for manufacturers as important as Fagerholt or a Louis Poulsen or Holophane. About 10 years ago, David Morgan started Radiant Lighting, and he did that in small part because he was looking for a home for his children, meaning his designs, but also because David had a feeling that although the lighting fixtures that he was designing were specific to a project, that with some engineering, they could take on a wider appeal. And shortly after he launched Radiant Lighting, that suspicion proved to be true. And over the last 10 years, mostly through project work, Radiant has become what I think is one of the most interesting and eclectic and innovative product offerings in our industry. About a year ago, Radiant decided to enter into the North American market, and I've been working with them since then, developing a plan, executing a plan to get the product launched into the United States, Canada, and eventually Mexico. This sort of presentation is a key part of that, and the timing of it is not coincidental. We've hit some very significant milestones in the last couple of weeks. Number one, our first stage launch, which incorporates the Centura product family. The Euclid product family, and the product family I'm going to talk about today, the 3D Flex product. That's been tested and approved. We launched our new North American website, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and as part of that launch, we included our new North American data sheet. So we're kind of ready for business. In fact, we've been sort of ready for business for a while, and if I'm being honest, we've been working with lighting designers for over 6 months now, probably closer to 9. And we have something in the neighborhood of $650,000 of outstanding quotes on our system already. So no one was happier that we passed DTO than I was. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the Flex system. Flex is a modular system, first and foremost. And this slide clearly indicates that. A wide range of bodies and electronics and refractors and reflectors and snoots and shields that are married together and sometimes are interchangeable into a linear lighting system. That said, if you boil it down to the bone, really the Flex system is, or at least a 3D system, is really a floodlight, a very good floodlight, a highly capable floodlight, but a floodlight nonetheless. It's available in 3 sizes now: nominal width of 4 inches, and length of 4 inches, and a depth of either 25 millimeters, 40 millimeters, or 100 millimeters. Our new 200 millimeter Flex product will be available at the first of the year. So it provides anywhere from 1,000 lumens to 3,500 lumens, and it does that in standard white with virtually any CCT or CRI, in tunable white, in warm dim, in RGB, RGBW, and RGBA. So with those capabilities, we can do things like the facade in this cathedral in France, and this facade in a shopping mall in London. But the Flex system, 3D Flex system, is much more than a floodlight. And in fact, what makes it much more, in part anyway, is this knuckle, and the associated other pieces that make a accentuated arm. That takes the floodlight and makes it into a linear lighting system with 3D, thus the name, articulation. That allows us to do some pretty extraordinary things, like this dome at the University of Edinburgh, or this interior at a Dior store in Saudi Arabia. But quite frankly, this is easy for this product range. What we like it tough, and we have done projects where it has in fact been tough. This is the Caspian Waterfront Mall. I think it's in Turkey, although I can't say for certain. Clearly a very strange and unique shape that offers all kinds of problems for illumination. But with our product, and in this case it's the Flex 40, we get the structure to look like that. The Flex product was actually one of the first products that we used to introduce Radiant 10 years ago, but it's been updated virtually, if not literally, every year, and continues to win awards as a product design and as an incorporation into lighting designs. Some of the most recent awards was the Darc Award in 2018 and the Middle East Light Award in 2019. So diving deeper into the product range, this is a display that was a temporary display that was used in a show in Israel a few years ago. It's our Flex 40 product again, with a custom snoot and a high-end lens or color mixer and an addressable DMX controller, creating this beautiful scene. Our Flex 40 product again, this time with RGBW. This is the Hammersmith Apollo Theatre. It's a landmark theater in London. And it won, the design itself won an award, I think in 2014, it says 2014. The other thing we can do with our products, besides lenses and filters and snoots and guards, is to alter the spacing. And when we alter the spacing, we can do one of two things, or sometimes both things. We can decrease the price of the product if price becomes a consideration, or we can create different but very appealing designs. This is the facade for a college, again, an award winner, a Surface Design Award in 2020. And you can see the clearly delineated colors on the wire mesh facade. Cove lighting, obviously something that we're built for. This is a little bit different. Giant cove with a very large opening and 100% plaster. So along with needing the exactly right beam angle, we had to design special hardware for mounting and a special clasp to keep it in place. This is our Flex System 100. And this was a design, obviously a geometric shape that we created by locking the attenuations together and then mounting those on aircraft cable. This design was actually the impetus behind our Centura product, which I showed you earlier. Along the same lines of talking about modified standards and customs, this is a project we did for a sports complex, I believe, in Germany. It's basically a floodlight within a floodlight, and that creates this very bizarre, and I would argue, annoying effect in the space, but it is very popular, and there are over 200 of these floodlights in that space. We can also work with structural engineers and come up with a turnkey solution in terms of mounting the product. This is called a Zootrope, which I didn't know until a few weeks ago, is basically a mechanical animation machine. These machines are on the exterior of a building in Munich, Germany. So, by the way, so that goes around and around, and it creates basically an animation. This was one of the first projects we did, and one of our most popular projects. It's absolutely a beautiful building. The Baku Cultural Center is world-renowned. We did the outside with a Flex 100 system, IP66, and the inside with a IP20 version of that same system. Very dramatic, beautiful application, and has won multiple awards. Finally, I'll talk a little bit about IP68. All of our products are available in IP68. The Flex 25 product is available also in IP20, and then the Flex 40, 100, and 200 are available in 20, 44, 54, IP66, and IP68. Product is perfectly acceptable in North America as a fountain or water effects light. This is a spa pool in Paris, and apparently the French aren't worried about electrocution. We're a little bit more concerned about that in the United States. So our product is not built, nor can it be installed in a pool, but fountains and water details, they're perfectly fine for. And in those cases, we can provide those in our standard product or a stainless steel product. So that's one of the 3 product ranges that we've introduced in the United States, one of our most popular ranges. We would love to work with you on a project where you feel this could work. And in the meantime, I'll turn it back over to James, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mark. So a couple of questions. Yeah, starting with the integration of constant voltage versus constant current. Can you speak to how you manage those 2 systems?
Well, right. So all of our products is manufactured to be energized with either system. Constant current is basically a system that is particularly popular in single point fixtures, where all of the intelligence required to operate the LED is in the power supply. So current regulation, voltage regulation, dimming protocol, any kind of other intelligence that you might want hardwired into the system is in the power supply. Constant voltage, on the other hand, most of the intelligence is more localized. It's either on the board that's in the fixture or in the body of the fixture. In most cases with Radiant, it's in the body of the fixture next to the board. This is commonly referred to as a driver, and this particular driver, along with the regulating current, provides diagnostics and DMX interface.
Gotcha. So some sophisticated equipment and front-end controls. Are those offered at all by Radiant or are those by others?
They're provided, we offer some front-end control. We work with other manufacturers to provide their front-end control, and we can work with the lighting designer, the integrator, or the electrical engineer, decide which way they want to go and provide all the features, functions, benefits of any of those systems.
Gotcha. And as far as dimming options with both, I suspect it wouldn't matter, but what dimming options are available?
Well, we work primarily with 0 to 10, Dolly, and DMX. And because about half of our product range is specified RGB or RGBA, DMX is without question the most prevalent of those systems, although we literally have zero preference on what you use.
What about shop drawings?
Well, we treat every project as a custom project, basically. And we do shop drawings for every project that we work with a lighting designer on.
Gotcha, okay. And in terms of radius, are there mins or maxes that we should be aware of as we leave today?
Well, a little of it depends on the size. This is a 25, and this will get under a 2-foot radius. The 40 is a little over 2 feet, and the 100 is about 3 feet.
Okay.
In either direction, or not in any direction.
Gotcha. Can you please demonstrate the flexibility in the eye of your camera so that we can see the planes that this product bends on? Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons it's called 3D Flex is there's basically unlimited flexibility in all directions and 360 degrees of rotation.
And it looks very robust. Those are cast components for the housings?
They're, all the housings are cast aluminum unless otherwise specified. And we can do brass or bronze and often do stainless steel.
Gotcha. You had mentioned several IP ratings. Out of the box, your standard's IP20?
No, I mean, you would think so because IP20 is the easiest to obtain. But I would say a majority, let's say, of our fixtures are IP66.
Oh, great.
What we do is outdoor and even in indoor applications, we'll often use the IP66 product.
Gotcha. Well, it's a very extensive application library, which certainly shows a tremendous amount of capability. And we are really excited to represent David and Radiant in New York now and New Jersey. And I think that wraps up our questions. Mark, thanks for a terrific presentation. And now, for those of you who are into solving puzzles, please grab your fez and follow Dave out to the back porch here. We're going to turn you on to some interesting info.
Hi everyone, I'm Dave Wallace, and today I'm going to show you all how to solve a Rubik's Cube without taking it apart or peeling off the stickers. Here we go. The first thing you have to do is select the side to start with. I usually start with white, but you can start with any color you like. When doing the first side, what we have to do is line up the 4 middle pieces first. Once I have a middle piece in place, I also want to pay attention to the adjacent side. In this case, it's green, so I want to line it up with the green centerpiece on the adjacent side. I'm going to repeat this step until all 4 pieces are in place. Okay, now that I have all 4 middle pieces in place, I can start working on the corners. Okay, now as you can see, I have the white side completed and also the top row completed, and they are all in line with their adjacent colors. Now we'll move on to the middle row. For this, we're going to use a series of moves known as an algorithm. This means that the orientation doesn't matter, and once the moves are executed, the results will always be the same. Here it is. As you can see, that put all of our centerpieces in their correct position. We're ready for the final algorithm. This is the longest algorithm, but once it's done a few times, the cube will be solved. Here it goes. The cube is now complete. I hope you enjoyed this video, and everybody, please stay safe.
Thanks so much, Dave. Great presentation. I would like to thank Mark, Carol very much, the rest of our team, Carl, Jennifer, Andrea, everybody. Thanks for your time. Dave, I'm going to stick to the sticker changing. I think it's a little easier. That's our shorts for the day. We invite you each Thursday to check us out at 12:15 for these live presentations, and then we respin it at 3 o'clock just in case you can't make the lunch break. We do thank you very much for spending your time with us and supporting O'Blaney Rinker Associates, along with Radiant and Mark Carroll's group. Hope to see you all next week. Thank you very much again. Stay safe, and good luck with your Rubik's Cubes. Adios.